Hello everybody, this is Mr. Mac here, posting a little video for you guys. So first and foremost, oh there it is. Okay, I got my little cheat sheet here. So let's start off with the changes here. So the AP art history test has changed quite a bit, which is blowing my mind, but it's actually for the better. I think you guys can do this. I think it's pretty easy. So they're changing the format for you guys to take the test at home, and they're just giving you 2 questions, okay? So question 1 is 25 minutes, and it's 65% of your grade. And this is going to be a long essay comparing a comparison type question, right? Remember what we were doing at the beginning of the year, and we've been doing constantly, like comparing the Abram stone to the Lamassu, right? And so we're going to go over strategies for that. And then the second question, which is 15 minutes, and it's weighted 35% of your grade, is going to be a short essay looking at continuity and change. So basically what they mean by that is what is the same and what has changed, right? And an example of that would be like when abstract painting happened. Why did abstract painting happen? Okay, well, the camera was invented, painting was displaced, and the painters started to look at more intellectual, psychological things in painting. So that would be that the continuity would be they're still painting on canvas in a rectangle, right? But the change would be that they've changed. It's a paradigm shift from painting portraits to painting conceptual ideas, right? So, and the places that they're going to go over are the prehistoric, ancient Mediterranean, early European and colonies art, late European and Americans and indigenous Americas and Africa. So we have all of those pretty much on lockdown because we studied those. We got through all of that pretty much before the coronavirus snafu happened. Okay? So we're not even looking at any multiple choice. We're looking at 2 essays, okay? I think you guys can do this, right? So let's talk about the essays in a little bit more detail. So first essay, 25 minutes, right? And it's a comparison. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? But I want you guys to really focus on using artist lingo, right? I want you to use some artist terms. We've gone over these before, right? Such as form. Form means the actual object, right? Superimposition, it means stacking things in space in a flat plane, right? One overlapping the other. Contrast is a huge deal, right? How much, what is dark? What is light? What do I look at? What do I not look at? Texture, how does it feel, right? Is it smooth? Is it silky? Is it rough? Is it sandy? Color, harmony, right? Value is super important. How much black or white is present in the color? And that can be stone, that can be sculpture, that can be video, that can be painting, it can be anything, right? And you guys have a deep enough dive that you can compare, you'll be able to compare and contrast any piece of art against something that you guys have already, liked, or some of the paintings that I told you that are some really important paintings and sculptures and things like Las Meninas would be a great one, right? The Swing by Fragonard. A lot of you guys really loved that one and took a deep dive into that, right? They can be, you need to make sure that there's some sort of continuity to them. And what I mean by that, when you write about the comparison and contrast, make sure you don't set yourself up for failure. So make sure that there is something that you can see that they have in common, right? Whether that is form, shape, content, superimposition, color, value, methodology of making, right? So it's important. This is going to be sort of an open book thing, I think. Like, I mean, you can have another computer running and you know, looking up the artist and things like that. So, you know, take 5 minutes, stay calm, make sure that you know you know what you're talking about, and you need to prove to them that you know what you're talking about, and um, that's not necessarily regurgitating facts, right? Um, about the piece. We need to take that deeper dive. Let me give you sort of an example, like the raft of the Medusa, right? The painting of the people dying on the raft. You need to say that this is the raft of the Medusa, this is who painted it, this is the time period. But what you're going to get points for is saying, well, this painter was influenced by this actual event that happened, and on the ship, the Medusa, and these were the survivors, and it really impacted the society, and the painter tried to capture that moment of rescue, right? That's what's going to really get you guys the gold medal, so to speak, okay? So a lot of those things, a lot of the deeper dives that we've taken into, you know, why the artist did this, what was influencing him, how did he feel, him or her feel when they were working on this work, is, you know, is super, super important to prove to the College Board that you know what you're talking about. Do not ramble, right? Do not try to make things up. Do not make things up, okay? This stuff is not really up for debate, right? I don't want you to kind of give your own opinion about the work, right? I want you guys to stick really close to the material, what you see in front of you, and what it actually means and why. Okay? That's what they want to know. They want to make sure that you understand those things. Also, I think Africa is a really good place to lean on for the comparison and contrast, because we, you know, the Nkisi Makundu, we have the elephant masks, we have a lot of those things, and those are very, those are strong pieces to kind of talk about, right? And then, yeah, so I think that's really important for you guys to understand. Now, as far as continuity and change on the second essay that you have to write, like I said, you have to focus on what has the piece, whatever piece you're talking about, right? I want you need to talk about what's come before it, right? What has influenced it to this point, and then, but then also how has it stayed the same? And that can be basic things, right? Say that if we're looking at a stone sculpture by Rodin, as opposed to like a Michelangelo sculpture or something from the Renaissance, we can say that it has changed, obviously, because it's moved from the figure towards the abstract, but it's still made out of stone. You see? So that would be a great way to talk about the changes and this, how they stay the same. So the material is a great continuity point, right? And in terms of, like, let's look at Yinka Yubare's swing, right? I mean, he's recreating the swing by Fragonard, and there's a lot of things to talk about how it's the same, right? But it's also a lot of things to talk about how it's different. That there's textiles, there's this influence, there's this racial, social, political charge in the piece, right? Those are kind of what they're speaking about when they're talking about continuity and change, right? Also, a word I want you guys to be aware of is derivative. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to be derivative. It's important to be derivative as an artist, but you also have to, you know, create your own spin on a piece of art. So, to kind of wrap this up, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I don't think you have to take the test. I think they put that out, but if you don't want to take the test, you have to contact Carrie Chandler as soon as possible, so that you guys can get that taken care of. But I really think y'all can do this. It's actually pretty, I think it's a good thing. I think that y'all do really well on it. So go ahead and leave comments and If you like the channel, smash subscribe. I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you need my help. Reach out. All right. Hope everyone's safe. Later.